Hey, everybody, welcome back to another episode of the Talking Stick podcast. I'm your host, Marcus Carlton. Appreciate everyone tuning in on these episodes, listening, whether you're watching on YouTube or listening on Spotify or wherever. I do appreciate it, and I hope you guys are enjoying it. We've got another good one today. We're going to talk about girls' hoops today, and second year coach Brad Brannen. Getting ready to start year number 2 here at Westside. And it's going to be an interesting year this year. I think he's got a lot of talent coming back. I think Lady Warriors are in for a good year. Brad's going to talk a little bit in our interview about a recap of year 1 and getting the culture established and getting some things set up for year 2 to help make it more successful and the years ahead more successful. So here's our interview with girls basketball coach Brad Brannen. Joining me now on the Talking Stick podcast in his second year as the senior girls head coach at Westside, Coach Brad Brannen. Coach, appreciate you coming on with me.
I appreciate you having me. I really do.
So, as I mentioned, this is year 2. What would you say is going to be the biggest difference in the approach in year 2 from year 1?
Just more refinement, I would say. Year 1 more about building culture, building expectations, talking a lot about effort, being accountable, things like that. I think we've got that down pat. I think this year's more going to be about, execution, consistency, more about the game itself, understand the game. We want to keep the culture, but we have some things to learn about the game and just refine what we're doing.
And I want to go just a tad bit deeper on the culture piece because for people that are not, basketball junkies like I consider myself to be, talk a little bit about how getting that culture right is the foundation.
Things, just little things like things people wouldn't think about. Getting your locker room how you want it and having them take care of it. Always having motivational quotes of some sort, things that I like to do, going out to eat together, hanging out together, having little after practice sessions to talk, not about basketball, but other things. Bringing them into, one-on-one time to talk, not just always about basketball or what they can do to get better, but how you doing in school? How's life, being for you right now? And, I think some big things that the girls were surprised about with me. And, I just shortly, the girls kind of thought going in, I was going to be a different person, I guess, than what they actually got. But, I make the girls say hi to me every day. No matter when they see me, they have to say hi. And sometimes it gets on their nerves. But just simple things like that. I can tell by the way they say hi if they're having a good day or a bad day or something's really wrong with them that day. And that helps build culture. They know that we care. That it's not just about basketball, but it's about other things. And it's about building relationships, things like that.
Very cool. That's and you mentioned a couple things there that I wouldn't have even thought of, but that's I like the whole saying hi thing because I'm sure you can read into that. What kind of day they're having from the start. That's an original one that I really like. So looking back, before we get into this coming season, coming up here, probably a month or so, what would you say was the most memorable experience with the team last year?
Well, honestly, I just watching them grow from the first practice to the end of the season. That's the most memorable thing that I can think of. And I know what perception might be. But again, I would think, one of the things that pop in my head first is just the relationships I have with those girls. Like, for instance, Addie and Izzy, after the last game of the season, I gave them a hug and I remember Izzy saying, "Oh gosh, I get a hug! I can't believe I get a hug." And just those things are more memorable. We had a lot of big wins. Brooklyn at their place, we beat them in overtime, and the Blyville games and winning the or being co-conference champs and making it to the finals of the district tournament. A lot of big moments. Beating my old assistant Bateman over at Salem in the NEA, that was a big win for us. And, that's kind of the game that turned it all around. We started playing a lot better. But, lot of great memories in one year. But again, I would say the biggest thing is just individual relationships. The way I got letters at the end of the year from players saying that, they love basketball, and they're so glad that I came because, basketball is fun, and they love basketball again, and those kind of things are just awesome.
Yeah, that probably has to hit your feels pretty hard when you come in, and at the end of your first year, you've got players telling you, "Hey, coach, you made it fun again." So that's got to be awesome. All right, so enough recap. Let's look forward to this year. Tell us a little bit about what we can expect to see from the Lady Warriors this season.
Well, the girls laugh about it, but I'm serious. I think we're gonna be pretty good. And what the part they laugh about is the things we did this summer and the things that we're doing now in off season, and we're gonna do when we get everybody in there is the exact same things that I tried to do at the beginning of last year, and we just wasn't ready to do it quite yet. And we're gonna be fast. We got a few good athletic girls on the team. We're going to play fast. We're going to shoot the three a lot. That's kind of going to be our motto. We're going to make other teams be good at decision making. And just from being around it for a year in girls basketball, I think that's the number one thing that we've got to do. We got to make people constantly be in a position to make decisions with the ball and not let them just shoot and play the way they want. But only lost 2, got 3 returning starters, got 4 or 5 girls that coming back that got to play a lot, and and a couple that got to play a little. Gonna have 2 freshmen come up that bring a lot of energy and bring a lot of athleticism. So, I think it's going to be a fun year, and this is the way that I would really like to play. And we played that way this summer, and we had a lot of success this summer. And they're just understanding what I want more now than what we did last November. So, not saying that they were bad players or anything. They weren't. It was just my terminology and the way I did things was a lot different.
Sure. And there's an adjustment phase that goes in anytime you have a new coach come into a situation. There's adjustment on both sides. I'm sure that there were some things that maybe you had to kind of adjust that you weren't planning on once you got in and developed that relationship with the girls.
Oh, there was a lot. I mean, it was, summer ball can be deceiving sometimes. And we played during the summer when I first got there, and I was thinking we could do certain things. And then when the season got around, and we opened it up with some really tough teams, and we just wasn't capable of doing it at that time. But we stepped back, made some decisions, not just me, but the girls as a group, and we got the ship going in the right direction.
So, with you having been in both boys and girls, is there what would you say is the biggest difference between coaching girls versus coaching boys?
I've talked to a few people about this, and they always tell me not to answer this question. But just attention to detail. Girls want to know the why. They want to know what behind everything. They want to know the reason. They ask great questions, and they just really want to understand the game. Whereas with boys, you start to explain it, and then they kind of block you out sometimes and be like, I'll show you what I can do, and they just go do something. And they can go do a lot of different things. But, with girls, you got to explain it. They want it taught. They don't want to have to, make any of those decisions on their own. They want you to teach them, and they want you to teach them the purpose behind it, and then they'll go out and do it to the best of their ability. I would say that's the biggest difference. They just want to know the why.
That makes sense. I might have to try to use that reasoning when I'm trying to talk to my wife. Maybe that'll help me out a little bit.
Yeah. Get those lectures of the why.
Coach, you're one of a few on the coaching staff there among the sports that is also Westside alumni. Talk to me a little bit about how special it is to be able to coach at your alma mater, and does it add just a little extra juice, I guess, when you get a big win over a rival or something like that because you're doing it for the place you went to school?
Oh yeah, I mean, just no doubt about it. Wearing Westside across the chest means something different for sure. Especially I've walked those hallways as a teacher and a student both. Now I've coached in that gym and I've also played in that gym as a player. So, I want to win, but it's not just for me or for the kids, but it's also for the community and the school and just everyone who helped build the program. And it's definitely a little sweeter to win a game at Westside when you're from Westside and everybody at Westside. It's definitely, no doubt, means a lot. And just to give a little dig, this year's not but probably the third time I've applied for a job at Westside.
Yeah, I'll make sure and pass that on too.
Yeah, don't worry. I've told them all a few times.
Well, hey, I guess third time's a charm because it seemed to work out this time.
That's right.
So,
that's right.
Hey, all right.
Every time's been for girls too.
Yeah.
Every time's been for the girls' job.
Oh wow! I didn't realize that. So. All right, so we've been serious long enough. Let's get into a couple fun things, and then we'll wrap it up here. And I've not been around you yet on game day. I've known you for a while, followed your teams, but I've not been around you on game day. Do you have like a game day routine, or are you superstitious at all?
I'm more routine. I'm definitely not superstitious. I used to have a superintendent named Chip Lane, and he was superstitious, and it would bug him to death that I wouldn't wear the same stuff or do things the same way on game day or whatever. And I'm definitely not a superstitious guy. But if a girl is on my team superstitious, I'll embrace it as much as I can. But I'm more routine. The things that I would get aggravated about on game day is if I don't have a chance to read over the scouting report again right before the game or on the bus, or don't have a chance to go over my game card, or I listen to my headphones and listen to motivational either speeches or podcast or songs or whatever it is. Whether it's home or away, I do those three things every game day for sure, without a doubt. And it's more to, it kind of does what superstitions do. Calms you down, gets you set up, gets you focused in on what you're doing.
All right. Last question. I'll let you get out of here on this one. Away from basketball, what's something Coach Brannen enjoys that maybe not everybody knows?
The one thing for sure, and even people I grew up with, and I don't know how good that is. They were good friends of mine, but I hunt and fish a lot. And my family has land. It's not mine, but my family has land in Melbourne, Arkansas, and we hunt and fish up there quite a bit. Matter of fact, I was just there yesterday and hunting with my 2 kids. And, I do that quite a bit. We spend a lot of time up there, whether it's summer or winter. And me and my youngest son for sure, and my oldest son, we go to the Spring River, and we're big fishermen as far as trout fishing goes. I mean, that's the funnest fishing that we do together. And, we get out there and got our waders on, get out in the middle. If you're paddling down the river, we're one of those guys standing out there getting in your way. So, but hunting and fishing, those are 2 things, that I do a lot of, with my friends. Fantasy football, do a lot of that. Think I'm in 4 different leagues for fantasy football, so do a lot of that also. And that's really about it. My coaching community guys, we'll get together and talk basketball quite a bit. Might meet at a restaurant or drive to Little Rock and meet up and talk basketball for an afternoon. That kind of stuff's really fun.
Yeah. So I'm going to assume with your land being up around Melbourne that the majority of the hunting you do is deer hunting.
Deer hunting, turkey hunting. Yes,
turkey. I didn't think about turkey, but yeah, I imagine that's some good turkey land up there too.
Yeah, it can be. But now my son and my youngest daughter play baseball and softball, and I haven't got to get up there for turkey hunt much here over the past few years.
Yeah, that kind of
softball season takes the meat out of it.
Overlaps just right on top of each other there. So, well, maybe we can get you a weekend or so that you can get up there and get a good gobbler, and then before that maybe you can get up there and get a big about an 8-10 point buck or something.
Right. Well, 2 things. One, I don't get to shoot anymore because I got 2 12-year-olds that's always in the stand with me, and they shoot all the time. I haven't killed a deer in 3 years because I just go up there with them and sit in the deer stand, watch them shoot all of them. And before that, I had Lily, my oldest daughter, in the stand. Didn't get to shoot then. And Justin, my oldest son, he was the only one that ever let me shoot anything. So, we. I don't get to shoot that often unless I go by myself, but that don't happen very often either. And another note is this weekend we went deer hunting, and I hit a turkey with my truck on the way back. So I got 2 turkey breasts at home in the fridge.
There you go. Hey, whatever, by any means necessary, right?
That's right. I was the best hunter this weekend. Nobody got anything but me.
Oh, well, hey, I can't think of a better way to end this interview than with that. So I'm going to let you get out of here on that one, Coach. I really appreciate you taking time to visit with me, and looking forward to getting in there in the Dome this November, December, January, and just have it completely rocking like I know it's capable when the ladies hit the floor.
No, I'm looking forward to it. Can't wait.
All right. Thanks, Coach.
I appreciate you. Yep.
Big thank you goes out to Coach Brad Brannen for taking time to sit down and visit with us via the phone. He's a busy, busy man, and we were very appreciative of the time that he gave us to sit down and kind of talk about this year for the Lady Warrior basketball program. Looking forward to see the product they put on the court this year. Get out and support those girls, and actually get out and support all the West Side teams. They all need and deserve your support. And speaking of support, if you like what we're doing here at the Talking Stick Podcast, go ahead and hit that subscribe button on YouTube or the follow button on Spotify. We would really, really appreciate it. It helps us grow the show and be able to do more in the future. Until next time, I'm Marcus Carlton, and this has been the Talking Stick Podcast.